Dear Aunt Flo is a podcast about bad periods, and I'm your host, Elisa Michelle. Every month, we'll dive deep into my own vagina monologues as I discuss my journey with endometriosis and share stories that we wish someone would have warned us about sooner. I am your new period BFF, so let's get comfortable speaking about our cycles. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Dear Aunt Flo. And welcome to a new month. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's already November. Wild. The tree will be up soon because I waste no time. But I usually put it in this here little corner that I'm sitting in. So I'm going to have to either find a new podcast corner or find a new spot to put the tree. Because this is the first year that I'm podcasting. And this is the first holiday. It's the first holiday season of me being a podcaster. So I'm going to have to switch things up a little bit. We'll see. Anyway, we're slowly getting back into the swing of things here in podcast land. And so let's start with our letter to Aunt Flo. Dear Aunt Flo. Ooh, girl. I thought we had an agreement. Okay, I guess not, because fall hit and you decided to come back with a vengeance and stay longer than necessary. It's annoying, and I wish you could just leave me an email saying that you stopped by, but I wasn't available because, girl, bye. Sincerely fed up, Elisa Michelle. So I high-key take back my summertime fine comment last episode about my cycle taking it easy for the summer because fall hit and she's literally acting brand new. Like sis said, we changing seasons, we changing things up. One thing about a menstrual cycle is that it will get tired of doing the same thing and switch up on you without any notice. Okay, it's disrespectful, honestly. But enough about her antics for now. Let's get into this episode. If you're new here, my name is Elisa, and I talk openly about my period and all things in between. If you're watching on YouTube, go on and hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, leave comments in the comment section. Just go ahead and join this community. I took a break for the summer, as some of you know, although my cycle did not. So I have lots to talk about now that I'm back. I always remind you guys that I'm not a doctor, but my real life experience warrants my rants and opinions. So take what I say with a grain of salt, but also take heed because I might share something that may help you with your own situation. You just never know. And then vice versa. That's why I would love for you guys to interact in the comments so each one can teach one. You know what I'm saying? Now, for this episode's topic, what questions should you be asking your doctor when it comes to your period symptoms and experiences? Woo! The short answer is all of the questions. The longer answer, however, is what we'll dive into today. So get your pens, your pencils, your tablets, your notebooks ready, and let's discuss. Imagine you are experiencing intense pain month after month, or maybe you don't have to imagine it because it's your reality. Ask yourself first, is this normal behavior? Or maybe you recently started having pain whilst using the bathroom. And no, it's not a UTI because you know how those feel. This feeling is more like something is bearing down on your bladder. And it should not feel like that. Or has your digestive system quit without any notice, leaving you to fend for yourself after every meal? And I mean every single meal, no matter how clean you're eating. Since endometriosis is a full body disease, we have to look at all aspects and all factors that may be affected or causing you concern. So most times before we even get to the doctor, because we know how long those appointments take to make, we start typing away on the Googles. Yes, I added the S. If you know, you know. Anyway, we deep dive into WebMD. And we start finding all of these answers like we did in school with Wikipedia. I don't recommend this method because when you're trying to figure out what's going on in your body and you're looking at WebMD, you're looking at all the Googles that you find, you're going to feel like you're on the fast track to heaven. And I promise you, you're not, okay? Just instead, let's schedule that doctor's appointment and get you answers by asking the right questions. Unfortunately, when we go into these appointments with just our concerns and no plan of action, we're met with dismissiveness. So here are a few questions that you can ask your doctor to hopefully elicit a more well-rounded answer to your problems. All right? Ask number 1. A differential diagnosis. I can never say this word, right? Differential, you get what I'm saying, all right? Differential diagnosis. So this is like a list of possible conditions that share the same or similar symptoms that you're explaining. This is for when like you describe your period issues and the doctor tells you that your period pain is normal. We've all been there. Ask for a differential diagnosis, and they should be able to give you other options to consider. And then you can go from there and ask for more testing if you want more concrete answers. So this list, this diagnosis, this second opinion is not your final diagnosis, but it's a theory. So like it's something that may be potentially causing your symptoms. So it's not what it is, but it's what it could be. So this diagnosis will allow the healthcare provider to not be so dismissive with you and will actually give you other, I don't want to say diseases, but other causes of what your symptoms may be in relation to. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. So yes, ask number 1 for a differential diagnosis. So if they're dismissive, be like, hey, no, this is what my body is feeling. I know this is what my body is feeling because I'm not used to this feeling. So can I get an alternative answer to my question? Okay. Ask number 2 is for a full blood panel. While I know this doesn't tell all, as we remember from my fictional TV show example last episode, it's still good to check all of your levels. Your thyroid, your protein, your progesterone, and your iron, to name a few. So when you explain your symptoms, they usually add a general list of labs to pull for when they draw blood. But if you ask for like a full blood panel, like fully describe what your symptoms are, they can add more labs in. So they'll have the lab tech check for this, and this. So normally, like you're just getting your, white blood cell count or the general blood things that you get when you go in for your physical every year. This just adds to that list of things. Once you start explaining your symptoms, then they can kind of start pinpointing different things that they could check for. Also, mention any supplements that you may be taking or ask about ones that you could be taking. So labs are they're just the baseline. So even if they come back normal, your doctor should also be asking about your nutrition, your sleep, your mental health, etc. Remember, your period is a full body transition. It's a full 28-day cycle. So every piece of your life makes a difference. Every single aspect of your life makes a difference. So make sure that they are asking you all of these questions. Check all of these different levels, your cortisol levels, your progesterone levels, your protein, your iron, how you're sleeping if you're not sleeping. Make sure they're checking your mental health. Make sure they're checking your nutrition, what you're eating, what you're not eating. Like there are a lot of different factors than just the baseline of blood samples that you can be taken. All right? And then ask number 3. Is this your specialty or not? Like, insert your issue here, but like if you have endo, PCOS, PMDD, etc., like if it's not their specialty, kindly ask if you can be referred to a doctor that does specialize in what you're experiencing. Like, it's always nice to have that second opinion, and even better if it can come from someone who deep dives into what you're experiencing, someone who like researches. This is like their heart song. This is what they do for a living. Okay, they're not just a general doctor. They specialize in what you have an issue with. And if you ask for a referral, it's okay. Like, they gonna be all right. They see a myriad of patients all the time. Not seeing you for one whatever isn't gonna hurt. So ask for that referral. Ask for someone who specializes, like specifically specializes in your issue. You want to see someone who cares deeply and wants to help you like overcome it and not just mask it with birth control. So referrals make the world go round. I once had a doctor try to ease my mind about having endometriosis because she also has it. But like the only thing she offered me was birth control. So I kindly went to see a new doctor because like, why would you want to continue to sit in the dark about what is happening with your body? Like if you're experiencing it, what I'm experiencing, like why are you not mad enough to do something about it? You're not the doctor for me. So just make sure that you are keeping stock of what you need. Just because they're professionals and they have all these degrees in these medical fields doesn't always mean that they know what's best for you, and doesn't always mean that they have your best interests at heart. So of course, there's a myriad of questions that you can ask and you can dive into, like your family history or your own history, like what you were experiencing before to what you're experiencing now. And then hell, even bring up what you found out on WebMD, because yes, they may dismiss it. Yes, it may not be accurate, but at least you'll have a record of you bringing it up. So this is how you establish a pattern and you don't take no for an answer. So if you want an ultrasound or you want an MRI, ask for it. If you keep getting ultrasounds that don't show what you're feeling, ask for the MRI. If the MRI isn't really showing exactly what you're still feeling, ask for whatever next level there is to the MRI. Like, keep advocating for yourself, keep asking questions, keep demanding answers, because your doctor is supposed to be there to help you, and you need to hold them accountable to that standard of care. All right. I hope that helps. I hope, like, I know it's like only a few questions and it's only like the surface level of what you can get into, but I think it's important to make these doctors work for what you're paying them for. You know what I mean? Like, asking these questions isn't hindering anything. It's, if anything, it's like teaching them how to be more thorough in their care, more thorough in these 10-minute appointments that you waited 3 months to get. I think it's the least that they can do, you know? So ask the questions, ask for a differential diagnosis, ask for a full blood panel after explaining your symptoms, ask if this is their specialty, and if it's not, ask for a referral. Okay? Now, let's get into our affirmation. Yes. All right. I am the 2 and the 3, but I am not the one to mess with. Now say it with me. I am the 2 and the 3, but I am not the one to mess with. I love you. I see you. I hear you. Peace. Hey BFFs, thanks for tuning in to Dear Aunt Flo. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to show support, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. This will help more period BFFs find our community and add to the conversation. Follow on IG at dearauntflo.pod and let me know what topics you'd like to cover this season. Catch you in the next episode, period.